Not one, yes, two. Coming again at you with another video. If you're returning, thank you for returning. Please hit that like button and comment down below. If it's your first time here, do the same thing and subscribe, please. Now, before we get into this video, take a sip of this coffee. Using this new coaster and it works just fine. Focus. My Jordan 1 review. If you haven't checked that out, the Jordan 1 latte, check that out. The lighting isn't the greatest. I don't feel like fixing it. I want to get this video over with. It's not going to be too long. But, yeah. So, we're going to be talking about how Boom. Boom is not his actual name, but that's what we're going to call him because he's no longer here with us. So, we're going to call him Boom. We're going to talk about how Boom pulled up to Cal's house. That's what we're going to call Cal's. Cal's and his brother's house with like 30 to 40 goons, hood dudes, ready to fight, do damage, whatever, because he didn't want to hang out with him and smoke with him. All right, so we're gonna get to how this happened. Now, first of all, we're gonna talk about Boom. I knew Boom. I hung out with Boom. Boom was like a grade or two older than me, and we ended up finding out that we were like kind of distant cousins, you know, as we got older or whatever, as we got through high school and stuff like that. And we did hang out somewhat or whatever before, but how we knew each other was through a female. There was a female that he talked to that he, you know, kissed or whatever, but never went the full route with, that I ended up hooking out with, that I knew nothing about what they had going on, and I ended up being with her for a long time and actually, you know, actually sleeping with her, being her first and whatnot, and all that other stuff. But that's how we met. We met with him being jealous of me. And how it started is, you know what I'm saying, we lived in a neighborhood. He lived like 3-4 blocks around the corner, a street over and like 2 blocks over, pretty much. A street over and three. Damn, I'm stuttering. Let me say this right. He lived a street over and about 4 blocks down is where he lived from me. So, you know what I mean? We lived in the same neighborhood. We did go to the same schools, but he was older than me. He was like a grade or two older than me, as I said. So, one day I was riding my bike. I can't remember where I was going, but I was riding my bike, and a dude was chasing me. It was a light-skinned dude chasing me with a bottle in his hand. So I'm like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? This was a pretty much decent neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? It was right next to the hood. Like, it was like literally 5 minutes away from the hood. It was very close, but it was a nice neighborhood compared to what the hood was. But a lot of dudes could ride their bikes, so you could drive right over and be right there in the suburbs or right there in the hood. So I'm like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? This dude looks older than me. He's bigger than me. And I'm like, you know, what's going on? He's like, hey, stop. So I'm riding my bike, not too fast, but like kind of slow to kind of hear what he wants. She's like, hey, stop. I'm not trying to fight you. I just want to talk to you. So eventually I slow down and hear what he says. He's like, hey, your name Denver, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, Boom want to fight you. And I'm like, Boom? Who's Boom? And then he's like, oh, he heard you was talking junk about him. And then I start putting 2 and 2 together. I'm like, oh, this is that guy. So he's like, yeah. I'm like, what do you want to fight me? I don't even know who he is. I never said anything about him. So pretty much, if you're not putting 2 and 2 together already, Boom is just starting problems with me for no reason. He wants to fight me just because I'm dating the chick that he wanted to go all the way with, that he didn't get the chance to go all the way with. That's pretty much what this is. So I ended up sticking around so I could talk to him like, bro, I wasn't talking junk about you. I don't even know you like that. So when he gets there, he's not trying to hear that. He just wants to fight. So me, I don't have any anger in me. I don't have any validity to this dude. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come up always fighting. That's not how I grew up. That's not how I raised, just fighting people on the spot for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And this kid was being a bully. Boom was being a bully at the time, pretty much. So we ended up fighting. He ended up beating me up. I got one good punch in. You know, I put this on everything. I got one good punch in. And then after that, he tackled me. And then he, you know what I'm saying, he hit me a couple good times. And I blacked out for a second. And then that was that. You know what I'm saying? Time went on. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really like each other speak. And then we were cool, got over it. And then, you know, I noticed a lot of things, a lot of jealousy again will come up later on because of the same issues, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get to the main nitty gritty of, you know, the video and what he did. But it was just a pattern with this dude. This dude had a really like sneaky pattern, and I don't know why he was like this, because he got a lot of girls. You know, he was very popular. He always had the latest Jordans, latest sneakers. Like, I wouldn't say I looked up to him, but I would say I definitely admire his style. You know, I definitely admire his style back in the day. You know what I'm saying? He was a very spoiled kid and whatnot. But he also hung out with a lot of dudes from the hood. Like I said, the suburbs were literally a 5 minute bike ride. You know, they were right next to each other from where we lived. So he was really cool with a lot of hood dudes. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot of cousins. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was his cousin. He was a likable dude. He, you know what I'm saying? He was funny. He was considered a handsome dude. You know, light skin. Like I said, he could dress. He had all the latest Jordans, and he knew how to dress well. He was a spoiled kid. But he was also a bully. He could also be a bully. So he was playing both sides of the fence pretty much. He was being cool with the suburb kids, the kids that lived in the suburbs like us, but he was in playing the other side of the fence when it came to hanging out with the hood dudes. So there was these kids named Kels. I'm not gonna say their real name. Kels and A. His brother A. His brother A was in the same grade as Boom. Kels was in my grade. So me and Kels was real cool. We would hang out all the time. I would go to his house. And Kels was the type of dude where, like, you could come over his house and you could eat. He always had food. You could eat, play the video game, listen to music, we smoke. We just chill. He was just a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? And if you knew this, if you knew Kels, everybody knew about, you knew this what he was, but his circle was small. And I ended up being a part of his circle, and me and him was just chilling on a day-to-day basis. Heavy, heavy, heavy. And then as we got older, when we got during high school, things changed a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I was dating a girl that I told you, Boom, was jealous of me dating, and so I spent a lot more time with her. But me and Kels was still like this. We would still hang out when we did, and we were like that. So one day, it was me, Kels, and his brother A. We went to the gas station to get some Dutches, and we ran into Boom. Boom was like, "Oh, what up? What's going on with y'all?" Or whatever like that. And we was like chilling, chilling. Said what up to him. And then he was talking to A, and he was like, "Oh, what y'all about to do or whatever?" We was like, "No, shit, chill, just." He saw we were buying Dutches, and he pretty much asked if he could smoke with us. And A was kind of like a selfish dude. You know what I'm saying? If he didn't know you, like if you wasn't his brother, or you wasn't his brother's close friend like me or somebody, or his other dude he would hang out with, he wasn't gonna chill with you. He wasn't gonna share his weed with you. He didn't want to smoke with you. He wouldn't go J for J. You know what I'm saying? I come from the times of blunt for blunt. Oh, you want to go J for J? Now it's smoke your own stuff to the face. There's no need to be sharing blunts or sharing joints. But I come from the time where a lot of dudes was going J for J. I come from those times, and he was pretty much trying to be on that type of stuff. And A was like pretty much like nah, like he didn't blatantly tell him no. He just pretty much like, oh, you know what I mean, avoided it. Like he didn't want to do it. So whatever, we left. That was that. We thought that would be the end of it. Tell me why this dude talk about he ready to fight and want to fight and this and that, and niggas and dudes disrespected the hood and said this on the hood. See, where I live, we grew up in certain hoods, you could not say on the dead people's name. Like you couldn't say on, like, for example, like you could say on the Crips, on the Bloods. But where I live, it was called differently. I'm not gonna say what it's actually called for other obvious reasons. But if you got caught saying this and you weren't from there, or you lied on the dead people or whatever, you would get dealt with. So he made up a bunch of stories. He gathered up a bunch of dudes with no lives, a bunch of dirty bum dudes who have nothing better to do, who like to fight. Like I said, I don't know how many times I have to say it. The hood was literally right there, and he was cool with a lot of these dudes. And these dudes had no lives, nothing better to do, and they liked to fight, and they liked to bully people. You know what I'm saying? Boom was at a bad place and time in his life where he wanted to be a bully and start trouble. He kind of always had it in him, because, like I said, when we first met, and this was like in middle school years, how he treated me. You know what I'm saying? Coming to find out that we were related. So he had a consistent pattern of bullying people. There are plenty other stories, but I'm not going to get into those. We're just talking about this story. So yeah, he gathered up a bunch of dudes, and he ended up bringing them to this dude's house where his mom lived, and like I said, to a neighborhood, a suburb neighborhood, just a neighborhood where people are working people, and they're not like people in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And he was ready to fight, and I just couldn't believe it. And the funny thing is, I was in a car with Kels and his older brother A, and we were on a separate street. We weren't on the same street where he lived. We were a street over, and we were parked like kind of up on a hill. And they had to come up a hill and walk around to go to Kel's and A's house. And like I said, if you know where he lived, a lot of people knew where he lived because Kel's was that dude. You could come through, smoke, eat. He was cool. His mom's was nice, whatever. And we saw, like I said, pretty much like from 30 to 50 hood dudes just walk. Like, we couldn't believe it. We could not believe that this man brought all these dudes here to fight because A did not want to smoke with him, smoking with us or whatever. It was crazy. It was astonishing. It was mind blowing till this day. As I'm thinking about it, as I'm telling y'all, like I'm still blown away by it. It's crazy. And yeah, man. He even called the phone. He had, like I said, we hung out with. They hung out with him in the past. Just this time they didn't want to hang out with him or whatever, for whatever reason. I can't remember exactly what it was. So he had A's number. He had Kel's number. He called A and left a voice message because they didn't answer, obviously. And on the voice message, he was pretending that A actually answered the phone. He was pretending to talk to A on the voicemail. He was like, "Oh, you said on the dead what?" He was like, and then he was like talking to the people in the back. He was like, "Yo, this nigga just lied. Say he gonna do on the dead. He trying to be funny. He trying like." I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe he really did this crap. Excuse me. So obviously, their mom ended up showing up, and she was scared. She felt threatened. She ended up calling the police, and eventually, whatever happened to dudes left. But yeah, man, I couldn't believe that he did that. You know, I really couldn't believe he did that, man. And I'm making this story just to say, like, just to prove another reason why I don't trust my people, man. You can't trust people, man. Like, it's best to just stay to yourself, you know? It's better to learn when you're younger than when you get older. You get what I'm saying? Like, outside people and stuff like that, you can't let them in at all. You know what I'm saying? If you know people have bad tendencies and weird tendencies and they like to bully people and they think they're above, if you see any signs like that, any signs of bullying, any signs of, oh, I'm better than you, laughing at, they making fun of people because of their clothes are lesser, because of the way they look, consistently doing this to their face. You know what I'm saying? Stay away from those type of people, man, because they will harm you. These people are evil. They're not right. And like I said, I'm calling them boom so people don't know who I'm speaking bad on. But yeah, man, he ended up meeting his demise. You know, he ended up having a kid, and he would still want to be in the clubs and still want to live that, you know, dip in the suburbs and be a dad, but try to be in the hood in the streets, act tough, and he ended up, you know what I mean, getting shot up and stabbed in a club, man. And I'm not gonna say I'm glad it happened to him. I'm gonna say rest in peace, because nobody deserves to go out like that. It's not like he shot anybody that I know of or stabbed anybody for no reason. He don't want to take it that far, but he was a bully, you know. And I did go to his funeral, and it hurt to see him like that, because like I said, we were cool. We did hang out and chill and whatnot. But you know, how you live your life, man, will come back to bite you in the behind. So, you know, I make tons of videos where I throw this in there where I say just, you know, try to be a good person while you're here on earth. And I'm pretty sure your parents tell you that. You've heard that plenty of times. But it's coming to a point in time, you know, maybe even you watching or somebody you know has done a lot of evil things and they changed their life, man. Just make sure they have a great connection with God if they change or trying to change, because if you don't, you know what I'm saying, karma is nothing but the devil. Let's really explain karma. When people talk about karma stuff, it's just the devil, man. It's the devil coming back to haunt you for the evil things you've done in your life. But when you get right with God and you repent, you know what I'm saying, and you don't go back, you don't be a backslider, like you stick on that path and you stay focused and you make sure God is your number one priority, because he will guide you and show you everything you need to do to live an abundant life. As long as you do that, you'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't do that, karma will come for you. All right. So I just want to end this video there, man. Hopefully this video, you send it to your a younger nephew or younger sibling, somebody younger that's hanging out with different people. You just got to be careful, man, who you hanging out with, man. These people, any signs like that, man, stay away from them. But at the end of the day, these kids are going to do what they want to do. A lot of them are hard-headed. But I just want to come up here with this story time and just tell you about that, man. I got a lot of other stories I could talk about. So if this is something y'all want to see more of, because again, this channel really started as a sneaker channel. But I started to turn it into like just talking about lifestyle stuff, what's on my mind, and stuff I've experienced as far as dating, whatever I could talk about. And unfortunately, when you do that, the algorithm isn't the greatest. YouTube will go by what you were originally doing. Like, oh, if you this was a sneaker channel, they're really only gonna promote your sneaker. You get what I'm saying? Your sneaker videos. But I really don't want that. I really don't have to want to create multiple channels. But maybe if that's something I have to do to push the channel further, maybe that's what I'll do. But if not, if I could just keep that here and keep doing what I'm doing, showing everything, sneakers, lifestyle, clothing, I would love that. So let me know, comment down below. A lot of you watch my videos, but do not comment down below. I don't even know if y'all watch it this far. Maybe I probably leave and don't watch it to this point. But if you're new and you watch it all the way to this point, and if you're already subscribed and watch this point, please comment down below and tell me if you want more videos like this or what type of content you enjoy more, so I can do more of that and get more in the algorithm. All right. Hit the like button again. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below. Share. I love you all. I promise I do. We're close to 3,000 subscribers. We're close to being monetized. We're at like 2,700, over 2,700 watch hours down for being monetized. And we're like at 2,500 subs. So close to 3,000. All right. Peace and love.